Today, I'm going to talk about milk. Milk, 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 milk. I don't know if you've noticed, like when you walk down your milk aisle, there's a whole lot of alternative milks out there. And I'm curious, I'm intrigued. What are all of these? As an example, Milkadamia, macademia milk, latte da, moo is moot. Yeah, I guess that's the moo point. Apparently it foams beautifully. So I just had to try this out. So I got this, and then another one, Oatly Full Fat, the original. I guess it's not the original because it's the full fat version, but whatever. I want to try this out. So I'm going to talk about three things today. The first is why, and the second one is on steaming tips. So of course it's a little different, and especially with a mediocre espresso machine. And the third one is a taste test. I really want to see how these milks influence my latte. Let's talk about why. Why? 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 And I think there are two things that really are important. The first, that is just it's easier on your gut. Now, I don't have any dietary restrictions. I can have cow's milk without any problem, but there are people who have that constraint, and these alternative milks are great. But even if you don't have that, it's just simpler on your gut. You might have heard things like, hey, don't have a cappuccino after 11 a.m. A lot of it is just based on the fact that we humans don't digest milk very easily. And the second reason is a lot around environmentalism. The reality is producing cow's milk requires a lot of land, it requires a lot of water, and it creates a lot of emissions. So a lot of these plant-based alternatives are much easier on our planet. And I guess that kind of makes sense. Let's talk about some steaming tips. There are three things that stand out. The first is just keep it refrigerated. And I'm not kidding. I got this sitting in a shelf. Like, these things are shelf stable. It's gonna expire in a year's time. Wow. The thing is, you obviously want this cold before you put it in and put it in steaming. So keep it refrigerated. The second is you want more air to go in while you're steaming your milk. I made a video before about steaming milk. I'll link it somewhere there. And the main thing is to take a little extra time in letting more air go in, especially with these alternatives. Third is use a thermometer. I saw that normally with cow's milk, there's a lot of sound feedback. You hear whether it's, as it's transitioning between stages. But with plant-based alternatives, I didn't see that, I didn't hear that. So I really needed my thermometer to know if I'm, going too hot or going too cold. All right, let's do the taste test. So now if I compare the two, so this is the Milkadamia macademia nut. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. And this is your Oatly Full Fat. Clearly a lot more foam and... Okay, fine, don't comment on my latte art. Let's talk about the tastes. So there's there's definitely a little bit of oat in this flavor, but there's at least my espresso flavors coming out. So I can see that notes of citrusy and floral in this drink. And yeah, in this Milkadamia, the nut is overpowering a lot more. Somehow I'm getting a sense this is chocolate milk. as opposed to the espresso that I plan to drink. And they're the same espressos and yet a very different flavor. And finally, let's compare this to our milk. Cow's milk. Cow's milk. It tastes like home. This is what it should be. And I think I just have like probably two things to say. So one, there's no compromise here. This is what I want my latte to taste like. I don't want an addition of oats and I don't want an addition of chocolate milk. I want to taste the espresso. But the second is that I really expected a lot of this problem to have been solved by now. Like Oatly is a 25-year-old company. I had expected them to figure out and kind of get out of the way when it comes to being a true alternative to milk. Maybe it's not there yet for us home espresso people. Alright, till the next one, I somehow have a lot of oat milk and macadamia nut milk to finish. I'll probably need some help on that one. Alright, see you in the next one.